Hi and welcome back. Thank you so much to my patrons for sponsoring today's video. If you'd also like to support my channel so I can continue making videos like this one, I will make sure to link my Patreon in the description down below. There you can have access to extra content that is not available on YouTube. Now let's get into this lovely lace stitch. I have here 3 different yarns that I'm using for this sample. This one is a cotton. I think this one is also a cotton, and if I'm not wrong, this one is a cotton cashmere blend. Basically, it's mostly cotton. And the tension that I'm using is 6.2. For this demonstration, I have 39 stitches in work. I'll begin by skipping 6 stitches from the edge on the left side. Using a 3-prong tool, I'm going to grab the next 3 stitches and I'm going to transfer them all together 3 stitches to the right. This way, I am emptying 3 needles, and the 3 needles to the right side are all receiving a second stitch. I'm going to grab the 3 stitches to the right of these needles and repeat the same. I'll transfer them all together 3 stitches to the right. And I'll repeat this across. So what I have here is 3 needles out of work and 3 needles with 2 stitches across. And you can see that I have 6 needles or 6 stitches to the left and 6 on the right. So now you can kind of decide how many stitches you want to cast on or how many repeats you want to do, and then decide how many stitches you want to leave here at the edge as well. I'm going to pull the needles all the way out. I'm going to make sure that the needles that I've just emptied stay out of work, and I will knit 6 rows. Next, I'm going to use a 1-prong tool and I'm going to grab the stitch to the left side of that ladder and transfer them all the way to the next needle with a stitch. So we kind of transferred it again over 3 stitches, and now I have 4 empty needles here. And I'll repeat that across. From these 3 stitches that I have here, I'm going to grab the one on the right or the one on the left side of the ladder, and I will transfer it over 3 stitches or onto the next working needle. The stitches will get pulled a little bit, but that should be absolutely fine. Just make sure you do a couple of tests with your tension before, just so you don't have any accidents. So the needle that we just emptied before, I'm going to place that one back in work, just like that, and I will knit 1 row. We have half a stitch now formed onto this needle. Normally we would have to knit 2 rows to complete a full stitch, but don't worry, it will complete the stitch on the next row. But before knitting the next row, I'm going to bring 1 more needle in work on the right side of the one that I just brought previously. And I will knit another row. And you can see that now this stitch has been fully formed, and here again we have half a stitch. I'm going to continue this 2 more times, and one at a time I'm going to bring the 2 last empty needles in work. And now I'm going to bring the last needle, and after this all my needles are back in working position. And here I'm going to knit 6 rows just like I did here at the beginning. So that was 1 repeat. I'm going to do another one. Skip 6 stitches from the edge, transfer the next 3. Here you can also pull the needles all the way out as you complete this transfer. I find that when I do that, it's just a little bit more secure and I'm not scared of dropping any stitches. We'll transfer the stitch here on the left over 3 or onto the next working needle. And I'll place the needle that I just emptied back in working position. And now I'm going to knit one row and then bring one more needle in work until all my needles are back in working position. So this is one version of the stitch. You can continue that for however many repeats you want to do, but you can also alternate the direction of the transfers just to create a slightly different version. This time I'm going to begin transferring on the right side, and again I will skip 6 stitches and transfer the next 3 over 3 stitches to the left. These needles are slightly in the way, but you can always just push them a little bit, or if you're left-handed, you're not going to have any issues from this side, you're going to have issues from the other side. So I just push them a little bit, and I'll continue with the next transfers. I'm going to again knit 6 rows. So now I'm going to grab this stitch and transfer it over 3 stitches to the left this time, or on the next working needle on the left. And I'll repeat that across. I'm going to place the needle that I just emptied back in work. We'll knit 1 row and then continue to bring needles in work every 1 row until I have all the needles back in working position. And here at the end we will knit 6 rows again. I think this is a very simple stitch, as we are only doing really 2 transfers and we are still creating so much openness to the fabric, but we do have to pay quite a lot of attention which needles we are placing back in work, as it's so easy to place the wrong needle or to place 2 needles at the same time. That would be a problem, as the machine is not really able to cast on 2 empty needles at the same time. So here you can just continue with a few more repeats, transferring from the right side, or you can alternate them. And here is the sample that I just demonstrated. I don't love how this stitch looks in this particular yarn. First of all, this yarn is unraveled from an old jumper that I made, and it doesn't have a very clean look because of that. And also, I think the fact that I'm using different shades of blue and has kind of a marbled effect takes away from it. So maybe it's better to knit this in a yarn that hasn't been knitted before, and also maybe just 1 color, so it looks a little bit cleaner. These are all just thoughts that I have here. I want to share that with you. This is the first sample that I knitted in this stitch, where I was still kind of practicing it. And it is a merino wool, just so you can see how the stitch looks in different yarns. Here I was still learning, so some of the repeats are not perfectly straight. You can see that they're not in the same line, but again, this could be an idea for how you can take this stitch further, how you can play with the repeats, knit a different number of rows in between. So these are all options maybe you can try. And here's a sample on the same yarn where I alternated the repeats. I really like this stitch. I think it's super cute and really easy to knit, and I'm really all about that lately. I really want to develop more lace stitches that are easy to knit, quick repeats, and don't require so much transfer. So this is kind of the mission I'm on right now. I really hope that you like this technique, that you'll give it a try, and if you do, make sure to tag me on my Instagram. I would love to see. As always, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.